2, 3, read for me. Story time has just begun. 1, 2, 3, read for me. Reading books is fun. Hi kids, today we're reading The Adventures of Paddington First Snow. Dear Aunt Lucy, this week something amazing happened. It's almost as if you knew it would, because you sent me that wonderful, warm, woolly hat. After Captain Scott reached the South Pole, he began his dangerous journey home through the snow, read Judy out loud. But did he find a Yeti? Asked Jonathan. Of course not, replied Judy. They're not real. What's a Yeti? Asked Paddington. It's a huge beast that lives in snow, growled Jonathan, pretending to be a Yeti, with great big claws and feet the size of... Paddington backed away nervously from Jonathan until he fell on his bottom, knocking off his new woolly hat. Really big feet? Suggested Paddington. Exactly, cried Jonathan. Whoa! Just then they heard Mrs. Brown calling them inside. Coming, Judy shouted as she scrambled out of the treehouse, following her brother. Paddington hurried after them, but he forgot his hat. Inside, Mrs. Brown was having a clear-out. You can't throw these away, said Mr. Brown, holding up his old snowshoes. You can keep them if you promise that you'll wear them, said Mrs. Brown. I will, said Mr. Brown. Look at the snowshoes, they're quite strange. The next morning, Paddington woke up feeling anxious. I left the hat from Aunt Lucy in the treehouse, he told Mrs. Brown. You can get it after breakfast, she said, though you'll see the garden looks a little different this morning. Look, Paddington's checking it out, looking out the window. Wow, gasped Paddington, looking out of the window at the beautiful snowy scene. He had never seen snow settle before. It looks like someone has rubbed out the garden. You can't see the grass, it's all hidden. After breakfast, Mrs. Brown told Jonathan and Judy that Paddington needed them both for a hat rescue expedition. Ready and raring to go on a snowy adventure, said Jonathan, saluting. Just like Captain Scott, added Judy. Captain Judy, Jonathan and Paddington trudged through the heavy snow towards the treehouse. Their mission? To rescue Paddington's precious hat. There it is, cried Paddington. Up in the treehouse, Paddington was about to pick up his hat when, tweet, 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 a little robin flew away with it. Quick, follow that hat, called Paddington, racing after the robin through the house and onto the slippery pavement. Whoa! Splat! Poor Paddington. Luckily, Judy had just the thing to help, a sled. They hopped on and zoomed along the icy pavement after the little bird. Woohoo! Just as Paddington was about to grab the hat, bump! The sled hit a lamppost and they all flew off onto the slippery path. Whee! And slid all the way to the entrance of the park. Look at those Yeti-sized footprints, gasped Jonathan. See the footprints in the snow? Yetis aren't real, said Judy. Come on, we need to get Paddington's hat back. Look, there's the bird flying with the hat. They hurried into the park, following the bird, the hat, and the giant footprints. As they gazed in wonder at the snow-covered park, Jonathan got smacked by a snowball. "Pfft! Oi!" he cried in surprise. "Looks like Matteo wants a snowball fight," said Judy, diving behind a tree. "Ha ha!" giggled Matteo, taking aim again. Paddington had never had a snowball fight before and didn't know what to do. He tried to throw a snowball, but instead it rolled down the slope, getting bigger and bigger. "Oh dear," he said, as the enormous snowball headed straight for Matteo. It crashed into the tree Matteo was hiding behind, and the snow in its branches covered him with a splat. "Oops, sorry, Matteo," called Paddington. "I'm okay," said Matteo, popping out of the snow. Suddenly there was a tweeting noise. "Tweet, tweet! Look, there's my hat!" Paddington cried, seeing the robin fly up to its nest. Paddington quickly climbed up the tree. "Hello, could I have my hat back?" Paddington asked the bird. "Aunt Lucy sent it to me, and it's ever so precious." Just then 5 tiny chicks poked their heads out from underneath the hat. "Pop, pop, 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 pop. Tweet, 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 tweet." "Oh my, how wonderful," whispered Paddington. "Where's your hat?" asked Judy when Paddington reached the ground. "I gave it to the bird," explained Paddington, pointing up at the nest. "She needs it more than I do to keep her chicks warm." There's the nest and all the little birds, the chicks, covered by Paddington's hat. Suddenly there was a strange noise. Crunch! "Huh? What was that?" asked Judy. "Look," gasped Jonathan. "Yeti-sized footprints. It's following us. Crunch!" They hid behind a tree, and the sound got louder and louder until, "Hello, everyone," said Mr. Brown. "Ah!" they all screamed. "Dad," said Jonathan, "we thought you were a Yeti." Paddington pointed at the massive footprints. "Oh, that's these snowshoes," said Mr. Brown, laughing. "I promised Mrs. Brown I'd use them. Come on, everyone, let's all go home." "So that's why I don't have your wonderful hat anymore, Aunt Lucy. I was able to give a cozy home to a family who really needed it. Somehow I thought you wouldn't mind. Love from Paddington. P.S. I hope you enjoy this snowball." "Oh dear, Paddington, I don't think Lucy's going to get the snowball. It's going to melt." What a great book. Reading is fun with Paddington.